Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 22.
Liu Bei, he's in serious trouble, right? He's up against Cao Cao, who's just getting stronger and stronger. He desperately needs help.
He really does. And this is where his advisor, Chen Deng, comes in with some pretty sharp thinking.
What does he suggest?
Chen Deng basically says, look, the person Cao Cao really fears is Yuan Shao. And he lays out why. Yuan Shao isn't just some local tough guy. He controls Ji, Qing, Yu, and Bing provinces.
Wow, okay.
And he commands something like 1 million armored troops. Plus, he has tons of skilled officials, both civil and military. He's got the territory, the manpower, the advisors, the whole package.
That's a formidable force. But Liu Bei hesitates, doesn't he? I mean, he points out, I don't really know Yuan Shao.
Exactly. And worse, I just defeated his younger brother, Yuan Shu. It seems like a terrible starting point for asking for a favor.
Yeah, talk about awkward. How do you get past that?
Well, Chen Deng has an ace up his sleeve. He says there's someone right here in Suzhou who has this deep 3-generation family connection with Yuan Shao.
Ah, okay.
And this person, Chen Deng believes, can write a letter that Yuan Shao simply cannot ignore. It's about using influence, not just direct diplomacy.
And Liu Bei has that aha moment. He realizes it's Zheng Kangxing, Zheng Xuan.
That's the one.
So, why him? What makes Zheng Xuan so special that even a powerful warlord like Yuan Shao would listen?
Oh, Zheng Xuan is a giant of his time. Hugely respected for his intellect. I mean, get this. He studied under Ma Rong for 3 years.
Okay.
And Ma Rong had this unusual setup. Students in front, but behind a curtain, he had singing girls in attendance.
Really?
Yeah. But Zheng Xuan, he apparently listened intently for 3 whole years and never once glanced back at the distractions. Ma Rong was blown away.
Wow.
He even said Zheng Xuan was the only one who truly inherited his secret knowledge. That tells you something about his focus and reputation.
And it wasn't just him, right? I heard this amazing story about his maids knowing classical poetry.
That's right, the Mao poetry, which was, the absolute peak of literary knowledge back then.
So like the equivalent of knowing Shakespeare inside out today, maybe?
Sort of, yeah. The story goes, one maid told another who was kneeling to get up, teasing her with a line from the poetry, like, why are you in the mud? And the kneeling maid instantly shot back with another line, something like, I went to complain, but just met his anger. The fact that even the household staff were that literate and witty.
It just shows the incredible intellectual atmosphere around him.
Exactly. It speaks volumes about the cultural weight he carried. He'd also been a high official, a Shangshu, but left politics because of corruption, the whole 10 attendance mess, and came back to Suzhou.
And he knew Liu Bei personally.
Oh, yeah. Liu Bei had actually studied under him back in the day in Zhuo County. And when Liu Bei became governor of Suzhou, he often went to Zheng Xuan for advice, showing huge respect.
So the connection was already there. Makes sense.
Right. So Liu Bei and Chen Deng go visit him. Zheng Xuan immediately understands the situation and agrees to write the letter. No hesitation.
And they dispatch Sun Qian straight away with it.
Yep. Day and night journey to reach Yuan Shao.
Okay, so the letter arrives. Yuan Shao reads it. What's going through his head? He must be torn.
Definitely. On one hand, he's thinking Liu Bei, the guy who just beat my brother. But then, it's a letter from Shangshu Zheng.
The reputation factor.
Immense. Zheng Xuan's name alone makes it almost impossible to just say no. So Yuan Shao does what any good leader would do. He calls a council of war. Time to debate attacking Cao Cao.
And this is where we get those fascinating different perspectives from his advisors, a real clash of strategies. Who speaks first?
First up is Tianfeng. He pumps the brakes. He argues against rushing in.
Why?
He says, look, people are tired from years of war, the granaries are low, let's be smart about this. He proposes a 3-year plan.
3 years. What does that involve?
First, try to report a victory to the emperor. If Cao Cao blocks it, then you accuse him of obstructing the emperor. Then you position troops carefully at Liang, build up naval power, make weapons, send elite units to the borders.
Very methodical.
Very. He thinks this patient approach guarantees victory in 3 years. It's about sustainability, not just a quick strike.
Okay, so Tianfeng is caution. Who's next?
Shen Pei. He's the complete opposite. Go now. Attack.
His reasoning.
He talks up Yuan Shao's divine bravery, the strength of Hebei, basically saying attacking Cao Cao now would be as easy as turning one's hand over. Pure aggression.
Then there's Zhu Shou. Where does he land?
Zhu Shou is more of a realist. Maybe. He agrees attacking isn't wise right now. He says victory isn't just about being strong.
Okay.
He points out Cao Cao's army is well-disciplined, his laws are strict. He's not like Gong Sun Zan, who just sat there and took it. Zhu Shou warns against ditching a good strategy. Probably Tianfeng's plan for what he calls an unnamed, basically an unjustified war.
Interesting. So caution, aggression, realism. What's the fourth angle?
That comes from Guo Tu. He jumps on Zhu Shou's point about the war being unnamed. Guo Tu says, no, it won't be unnamed. This is our chance.
How so?
He urges Yuan Shao to ally with Liu Bei under this banner of great justice, destroy Cao Cao. He frames it as doing what heaven wants, what the people want. It's the moral argument, righteous zeal.
Wow. Four very different takes. Caution, force, realism, and righteousness. Yuan Shao must be spinning.
Absolutely. You can see the dilemma. Each argument has merit. He's clearly hesitating, trying to weigh it all up.
And then, just as he's stuck in this deadlock, Yu Yu and Xun Chen show up.
Perfect timing, wasn't it? They
Yeah.
walk in, hear the debate, and immediately both of them say, attack. Go for it.
What's their logic? Do they echo Shen Pei or Guo Tu?
Kind of a mix, maybe leaning towards Guo Tu's justification, but with Shen Pei's confidence. They emphasize Yuan Shao's sheer numbers, multitude over few, strong over weak.
Play to your strengths.
Exactly. And frame it as punishing the Han bandit Cao Cao and supporting the royal house, the emperor. Make it a righteous cause.
And that clicks with Yuan Shao.
Instantly. He basically says, yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. It seems their argument gave him the push and the justification he needed. Decision made.
It's amazing how just two more voices saying the right thing at the right time could tip the scales like that.
It really is. And things move fast now. Sun Grian is sent back to tell Zheng Xuan the news and get Liu Bei ready to support the campaign.
Who gets put in charge?
Shen Pei and Feng Ji are made commanders. Tianfeng, Sun Chen, and Xu. You are the key advisors. Interesting, they kept Tianfeng involved despite his caution.
Yeah, good point.
And the star generals, Yan Liang and Wen Chao, are leading the charge. And the numbers are just staggering.
How many again?
150,000 cavalry, 150,000 infantry, a total of 300,000 elite troops heading straight for Liang.
300,000, that's immense. But it wasn't just about the army, was it? There was one more crucial step.
Right. Gotogo makes one final very important suggestion. He says, we need to write a proclamation, list all of Cao Cao's crimes, everything he's done wrong, and send it out everywhere.
Like an official declaration of war, but also a list of charges.
Precisely. Denouncing his crimes and calling for punitive action, as the text says. This gives the whole campaign that proper and righteous name. It's public relations, ancient style, adds legitimacy, wins hearts and minds before the battle even starts.
Makes the whole massive undertaking seem justified, not just like a power grab.
Exactly. And Yuan Shao sees the wisdom in that immediately. He tells his scribe, Chen Lin, to get writing. Draft that proclamation. The war now has its official story, its moral backing. This proclamation, drafted by a man named Chen Lin, he was writing on behalf of Yuan Shao.
Yuan Shao, okay.
And it was aimed directly at his formidable rival, Cao Cao.
Famous Cao Cao.
The really one, its purpose was crystal clear. To utterly discredit Cao Cao, undermine his authority, and crucially, rally public support for Yuan Shao's upcoming military campaign. It truly is a masterclass in ancient rhetoric, meticulously designed to persuade and incite.
It starts by sort of setting a philosophical stage, talking about wise rulers, loyal ministers. Then it gets into historical examples of, well, bad actors.
That's right. It meticulously brings up figures like Zhao Gao from the Qin dynasty.
Infamous.
Absolutely. Notorious for seizing imperial power and ultimately driving his state to ruin. It also mentions the powerful family of Empress Lu, specifically Lu Chan and Lulu.
From the Han dynasty after Empress Lu's death.
Correct. They dominated the Han court, effectively monopolized state affairs, and it led to widespread fear. The document then highlights their eventual overthrow by loyal ministers, Zheng Hao and Zhu Zhu, who restored the rightful emperor.
So it's using history as a weapon here.
Precisely. By citing these examples, the document draws a stark parallel. It's painting Cao Cao as a modern-day usurper, someone deserving of a similar, righteous overthrow.
Okay, so the stage is set. Now, here's where the gloves truly come off, right?
Oh, yes.
The proclamation launches into this full-scale assault on Cao Cao's character, his family, his actions. It starts right at his roots, his origins. How does it paint his family background?
It really pulls no punches. The document asserts that Cao Cao's grandfather, Cao Tang, was a corrupt eunuch.
A eunuch, okay.
Yes, and accused of causing harm to the people and being greedy and arrogant. Then his father, Cao Song, is branded a beggar who used bribery to attain his high position.
A beggar. Seriously?
That's the claim. essentially stealing the office by, quote, transporting gold and jade and bribing powerful families. It goes as far as to label Cao Cao himself as an eunuch's leftover ugly.
Wow, that's harsh.
It's deliberately crafted to be the ultimate insult. It wasn't just about physical appearance. It suggested he was this, repulsive byproduct of his grandfather's illicit power.
So, lacking moral virtue, lacking legitimacy.
Utterly lacking, according to this document. It was designed to deeply, deeply damage his reputation.
So the lineage is attacked first, but then the proclamation shifts, right? It goes into this narrative of blatant ingratitude.
Yes, it claims Yuan Shao was actually Cao Cao's benefactor, only to be betrayed.
Okay, what's Yuan Shao's side of that story, according to Chenlin?
Well, the document asserts Yuan Shao initially recognized Cao Cao's talent, saw him as a capable subordinate, calls him an hawk dog talent, or claw and tooth.
Flattering in a way.
In a military context, yes. And it claims Yuan Shao even provided him with troops. It says that despite Cao Cao's repeated defeats and losses, Yuan Shao consistently reinforced him, repairing and mending his forces.
So, propping him up.
That's the narrative. Yuan Shao even appointed him to crucial positions like Eastern Commandery Governor and Yan Province Inspector, effectively saving his career after, significant losses to Lu Bu.
Right, Lu Bu was a major threat then.
Exactly. So it paints Yuan Shao as this incredibly generous patron, which makes Cao Cao's alleged betrayal seem even more egregious, even more unforgivable in the eyes of the public they were trying to sway.
That paints Yuan Shao as incredibly magnanimous and Cao Cao as, well, utterly treacherous. Given the context, the Three Kingdoms period, how much would a narrative like that betrayal of a benefactor actually sway public opinion, even if it wasn't entirely true?
Oh, hugely. In that era, loyalty, reciprocity, these were paramount virtues. A narrative of betraying a patron was incredibly potent.
It taps into core values.
It would have resonated deeply with the traditional values of the time, painting Cao Cao not just as a political enemy, but as a morally bankrupt individual. Regardless of, the factual accuracy, simply making that accusation publicly.
Especially from someone like Yuan Shao.
Exactly. From someone that prominent, it would have cast a long, damaging shadow over Cao Cao's character and his legitimacy.
Okay, so beyond these really personal attacks, the document then lists specific, shocking abuses of power. What did it accuse Cao Cao of doing once he gained influence?
Yeah, and this raises an important question, right? What actions were seen as just unforgivable for a leader back then?
Right.
The proclamation claims Cao Cao flagrantly abused imperial authority.
Yeah.
So when the emperor returned to the capital, Yuan Shao alleges he sent an envoy asking Cao Cao to help protect the young emperor, repair ancestral temples, basic loyal duties.
And Cao Cao didn't.
Instead, the document claims Cao Cao let loose his ambition. It says he coerced the emperor's movement, completely controlled the palace, insulted the royal family, corrupted laws, monopolized power.
Sounds like a tyrant's checklist.
Pretty much. It states his rewards and punishments were entirely arbitrary, decided by heart and by mouth, just on a whim.
Leading to fear among officials.
Yes, causing officials to be silenced and fearful. The text says 100 officials gagged. It paints this vivid, terrifying picture of absolute unchecked power.
And there's specific examples of cruelty, too, aren't there, to back this up?
Absolutely, it gets quite graphic. The document alleges he brutally executed the highly talented and, importantly, outspoken Nanjiang prefect, Bian Rang.
Ian Rang, okay.
Executed him along with his family, which caused widespread outrage, especially among the scholar gentry class.
A very influential group.
Very. It also claims that Yang Biao, a respected former Grand Commandant, was falsely accused and subjected to horrific torture. It mentions the 5 poisons.
5 poisons? What does that mean?
It's generally understood as a reference to extreme and varied forms of torment, designed to inflict maximum pain and degradation. Not just one method, but multiple cruelties. And then, in a really chilling act, a counselor named Zhao Yan, who apparently gave honest, wise advice that even the emperor listened to. Well, Cao Cao had him summarily executed.
Without imperial approval.
Exactly. The document says it was explicitly to stop honest speech. These details weren't just thrown in. They were meant to paint him as a ruthless tyrant, silencing absolutely all dissent.
Among all these shocking abuses, though, there's one accusation that really pushes the boundaries, doesn't it? It shows the sheer audacity of this document, the grave robbing.
Ah, yes, the grave robbing. This is truly fascinating, and it's a detail that really sticks with you, like you said.
So what's the story there, according to Yuan Shao?
The proclamation accuses Cao Cao of personally leading officers and soldiers to excavate and desecrate the tomb of King Shao of Liang.
An imperial relative.
Yes, an important Han imperial relative, digging up for gold and treasures, leaving the bodies exposed. I mean, talk about disrespect.
That's extreme.
But it gets even more bizarre. It claims Cao Cao established special official positions for this very purpose.
Official positions. For grave robbing.
You heard right. Commander of Unearthing Graves and Colonel of Touching Gold.
Wow.
He was essentially turning grave robbing into a state-sanctioned enterprise, despite his high office. It's such a wild accusation you almost have to, well, you have to question it, but the audacity is incredible.
Imagine putting that title on your official seal.
Right. The document uses this to paint him as someone so morally bankrupt he would even, quote, poison humans and ghosts, implying his evil affected everyone, living or dead, even the spiritual realm.
So nothing was sacred, and his actual policies, day-to-day governance, they weren't any better, according to this.
Not at all. The proclamation details this system of harsh, cruel governance. It uses metaphors like nets and snares filling the paths and pits and traps blocking the roads.
Meaning people were constantly afraid of falling foul of the law.
Exactly. It describes a populace living in fear and misery, unable to move or act without risking entrapment. Raising a hand gets caught in a net, moving a footsteps on a trap. This, it claims, led to widespread suffering and resentment in the provinces under his control. It even calls him more greedy and cruel than any depraved minister in history.
Strong words. So, after systematically tearing down Cao Cao piece by piece, the document pivots to Yuan Shao himself. It projects this image of overwhelming power and, legitimacy. What kind of force did Yuan Shao claim to command? How did he describe the coming fight?
Right, the pivot. Yuan Shao portrays Cao Cao's resistance as utterly futile. He uses this vivid analogy of a praying mantis trying to stop a chariot.
Basically completely outmatched.
Hopelessly outmatched. He boasts of his overwhelming military might, millions of long pikes and thousands of cavalry, mentioning elite soldiers, skilled archers.
Standard boasting, perhaps?
Probably some exaggeration, sure, but the image is clear. He describes this massive coordinated attack from multiple provinces, Bing Province, Qing Province, Jing Province's main army, all sweeping down from the north like some kind of natural disaster.
A multi-pronged assault.
Exactly. He sounds utterly confident in victory. Compares it to lighting a flying thistle with a flame or quenching a spark with the ocean, basically saying resistance is impossible, Cao Cao will be extinguished instantly.
And what about Cao Cao's own army? Does the document try to undermine them too, so some discord?
Oh, absolutely. It's a shrewd move. It claims that many of Cao Cao's soldiers are actually from Yuan Shao's home territories, Yuanju provinces.
Ah, so playing the homesickness card.
Precisely. Says they're homesick, looking north with tears. Others, it suggests, are just coerced remnants of defeated armies like Lu Bu's or Zhang Yang's men who resent Cao Cao and are wounded and injured.
Suggesting low morale, divided loyalties.
Exactly. The proclamation suggests that if Yuan Shao's forces merely show up, maybe raise a white banner to open the path for surrender, Cao Cao's army will just crumble and fall apart without a single drop of blood being shed.
Pure psychological warfare.
Classic psyops, ancient style.
Okay, so finally the document wraps up with a direct call to action, right? Offering clear incentives. What did Yuan Shao promise people who joined him, especially defectors?
Yes, the call to arms. It urges all loyal subjects to rise up, emphasizing the Han Dynasty's decline and Cao Cao's alleged usurpation. It specifically notes his 700 elite soldiers surrounding the palace.
Holding the emperor captive.
Effectively, yes.
Yeah.
Painting it as the time for loyal ministers to spill their brains on the ground, a rather graphic image, and for heroes to establish great deeds.
So duty and opportunity.
Right. And for defectors from Cao Cao's side, it promises a full pardon. Nothing will be questioned, it says.
A clean slate.
And then there's the ultimate prize. Anyone who delivered Cao Cao's head
The big one.
would be greatly rewarded. Title of Marquis, over 5,000 households, and 50 million cash.
Wow, that's a pretty compelling bounty. Hard to ignore.
Definitely designed to motivate. Yuan Shao was just ecstatic when he got this proclamation written by Chen Lin.
He loved it, ordered it, posted everywhere, right? States, checkpoints, the works.
Absolutely. And eventually, a copy reaches Yudu and Cao Cao. He's genuinely laid up with this terrible headache, this Tufan.
So this thing, written specifically to demoralize Cao Cao's side, lands in his lap. What actually happens? Does it work?
Not even close. It's amazing. The text says he reads it, gets chills, breaks into a cold sweat, and the headache vanishes.
Seriously, he jumps out of bed.
Leaps out of bed, and then he finds out Qianlin wrote it. He gives credit, says, the writing's brilliant.
There's always a but with Cao Cao.
But he immediately says literary skill needs martial ability.
Yeah.
Qianlin's got the word sure, but what good is it if Yuan Shao can't back it up?
That's such a sharp insight from Cao Cao. He sees the mismatch instantly. Great message, weak leader.
Exactly. It's like having the best marketing campaign for a product that just doesn't work.
Yeah, the sizzle but no steak, right? You see that everywhere. Business, politics.
You do. And that imbalance, it often cracks under pressure, which is what happens next.
Right. So Cao Cao, headache gone, gathers his team. How do we deal with Yuan Shao? And Kong Rong pipes up first.
Yeah, Kong Rong, a respected scholar, basically argues, look, Yuan Shao's too strong. We need to make peace.
And his reasoning.
Well, on paper, it looks solid. Huge territory, lots of people, and the advisors and generals. Quite the list.
He names names, right?
Oh, yeah. Strategists like Zhu Yu, Go Tu, Shen Pei, Feng Ji. Loyal guys like Tian Feng, Zhu Shou.
And the famous warriors.
Yan Liang, Wen Chao described as, braving beyond all armies, legendary status.
Wow. Plus others like Gaolan Zhonghe. I mean, that sounds like an all-star team.
It really does. If you just heard that list, you probably agree with Kong Rong. Appeasement seems sensible.
But then Zun Yu steps in, Cao Cao's top strategist, and he's just
completely calm. He basically says Yuan Shao is, quote, useless. No need for peace talks.
Okay, wait. After hearing that list, how does he justify calling Yuan Shao useless? Kong Rong must have been floored.
He was. But this is where Shen Yu just brilliantly dissects the whole thing, almost like a surgeon.
How so?
He takes Kong Rong's points and flips them. The troops, numerous, but disorganized.
Okay. What about the people?
He goes through them. Tian Feng, upright, sure, but insubordinate. He clashes with superiors.
Xiu.
Greedy, Xun Yu says, but you unintelligent. A bad combo.
Definitely. Shen Pei.
Stubborn, yes, but clueless. Doesn't see the bigger picture.
Nanfeng Ji.
Decisive, maybe, but uselessly decisive. Makes decisions without real impact or purpose.
Wow. That is brutal, but incredibly specific. It's not just flaws, it's how those flaws interact.
Exactly. That's the genius of it. Xun Yu says these personalities, they're incompatible. They're bound to cause internal conflict.
So the strength becomes the weakness because they can't work together. What about the star generals, Yan Liang and Wen Chao?
Dismissed. He calls their bravery just the courage of a common brawler, basically. Not strategic.
Ouch. So easily beatable.
One battle, and they're captured, Sun Yu predicts, and the rest. Gao Lan, Zhang he calls them mediocre. 1 million of them wouldn't matter.
Now hang on, 1 million mediocre soldiers still sounds like a problem. Is he just being arrogant?
I don't think it's arrogance. It's about leadership and cohesion. 1 million directionless soldiers under weak commanders. They're vulnerable. It's quality over quantity, strategically speaking.
And Cao's reaction?
He just laughs. Says Sun Yu nailed it. Exactly what he was thinking. It's all about seeing past the reputation, right? Understanding the reality underneath.
Okay, so armed with that insight, Cao makes his move, heads north to Liang with 200,000 troops.
Yep, and they dig in. Trenches, fortifications. Both sides just stare at each other for months. August, September, October. A real stalemate.
And during this time, Sun Yu's prediction about internal strife.
It starts happening, exactly as he said. Sun Yu's ticked off because Shen Pei is leading troops. Yu Shou's advice is getting ignored, and he's frustrated.
And Yuan Shao himself?
He's getting suspicious, paranoid. He's paralyzed by the very issues Sun Yu pointed out. Can't make a decisive move.
Incredible. While that's grinding to a halt up north, Cao pulls off something else down south.
Ah, yes, the feint against Liu Bei and Zhu Zu. Pure strategic brilliance.
He sends Lu Dai and Wang Zong, right? With 50,000 troops.
And, crucially, flying Cao Cao's own banner, the Prime Minister's banner, making it look like Cao Cao himself is there.
But he wasn't. And apparently even his own side had doubts. Cheng Yu questioned it.
He did. He pointed out, look, Lu Dai and Wang Zong, they're no match for Liu Bei.
And Cao knew it.
Totally admitted it. Said, I know they're not his match, but it was deliberate. A show of force, a bluff.
What were his exact orders?
Don't attack rashly. Wait until I beat Yuan Shao, then we'll deal with Liu Bei. It's classic misdirection. Keep Liu Bei looking south while the real action's north.
It's like a magician making you look at one hand while the other does the trick. And he's managing other fronts, too.
Oh yeah, he didn't just focus on these two. Before heading back to Judu, he set up defenses elsewhere. Zhangba covering Qing and Zhou provinces,
Okay.
Yujin and Li Dian holding the river line,
Yeah.
and Cao Ren commanding the main force back at Guandu. He's playing 3D chess here.
Managing the whole board. Okay, so this bluff force, Lu Dai and Wang Zong, they get near Zuzu. What happens?
And they set up camp, maybe 100 lions away, fly the big banner, and then they just sit there.
Hesitating, waiting for news from the north, like Cao Cao told them.
Exactly, until Cao Cao sends an urgent message. Attack!
Okay, time for action.
So then they start arguing.
Arguing
About what?
about who has to go first. Seriously, they can't decide who leads the attack.
No way, how do they settle it? Flip a coin? Pretty much. They drew lots. Wang Zong drew the attack first lot, so he takes half the men and heads toward Zuzu.
Oh my goodness, that tells you everything about why Cao Cao chose them for the bluff, right?
Absolutely. Perfect for making noise, not so much for actual fighting. Meanwhile, Liu Bei gets word. Prime Minister's banner approaching.
He must have been worried.
Initially, yeah, unsure what's really going on, so he consults his advisor Chen Deng.
And Chen Deng, does he buy the banner?
Nope, Chen Deng is sharp. He points out, look, Cao Cao's real fight is up north with Yuan Shao. That's where his focus is. He's probably not even flying his own banner up there.
Because he wants Yuan Shao guessing, too.
Maybe, or just focused. But Chen Deng concludes, the banner down here, it's a fake out. Cao Cao himself isn't commanding this force in Zuzu.
That's brilliant deduction, seeing through the noise. So Liu Bei realizes it's likely a bluff. What next?
He needs eyes on them, needs to confirm. Wang Fei immediately volunteers.
Ah, Zhang Fei. I can picture it. Let me go. I'll capture Cao Cao.
Pretty much his vibe. But Liu Bei knows Zhang Fei, calls him too impetuous, too high-headed for reconnaissance.
Probably wise. So who gets the job?
Guan Yu steps up. Liu Bei trusts his calm, careful nature, sends him with 3,000 men just to observe, to scout things out carefully.
Another example of good leadership, right? Matching the person to the mission, not just sending the loudest volunteer.
Precisely. It's about temperament and suitability for this specific task, especially in these kinds of subtle situations. Early winter, you have to picture it. Heavy clouds, snow everywhere, troops just struggling through it.
Yeah, the conditions are just brutal. It sets a really stark stage for what's about to happen.
And right into this steps Guan Yu, iconic figure.
He rides out, blade in hand, straight up challenges Wang Zong. And Wang Zong, he's a bit dismissive, right? Asks why Guan Yu isn't just surrendering to Cao Cao.
Yeah, kind of brushes them off. But what does that opening tell us about Guan Yu? Because he immediately uses this classic trick.
The feigned retreat.
Exactly. Turns his horse, gallops off. And Wang Zong may be a bit too confident.
Oh, definitely overconfident. He takes the bait, chases him right around a mountain slope.
It's not just clever, is it? It's like psychological warfare 101.
Totally. Guan Yu turns Wang Zong's own arrogance against him. Wang Zong sees a fleeing enemy, forgets basic caution. Big mistake.
And then, bam, the reversal. Guan Yu, out of sight for a second, just spins his horse, lets out this huge shout, and charges back.
Blade raised. It must have been terrifying.
And the capture itself, it's so decisive. He's got his famous blade in his left hand, uses his right to just grab Wang Zong's armor strap,
Yanks him right off his horse.
pulls him clean off the saddle, slings him across his own horse, and just carries him back like a prize.
Imagine seeing that happen to your commander. Utterly demoralizing. Wang Zong's troops, they just scattered. Gone.
So Guan Yu brings Wang Zong back to Liu Bei in Zuzu, key city.
Right. And Liu Bei questions him, tries to figure out what's really going on.
And Wang Zong spills the bean.
Pretty quickly, yeah. Admits he was ordered to feign strength. Just put on a show. Cao Cao wasn't actually there. It was all a bluff.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. Liu Bei's reaction. It's so unexpected for the time, right?
Yeah, you'd expect what? Execution? Torture, maybe?
Instead, he gives him clothes, food, puts him under guard, basically.
Yeah.
Says he'll wait till he captures the other guy, Liu Dai, before deciding.
It seems counterintuitive, but there's a strategic layer there. What's Liu Bei gaining by showing mercy here?
Well, that's the thing. It's not just about being nice.
No, it's strategic reconciliation, potentially. It's
Yeah.
about building a different kind of reputation. Maybe sowing doubt among enemies, showing strength through clemency. It could pay off later.
And Guan Yu gets it instantly. He says something like, I knew you were thinking about reconciliation, that's why I brought him back alive.
Perceptive. And Liu Bei explains his thinking. He was worried Zhang Fei, impulsive Zhang Fei.
Would just kill him on the spot.
Exactly. Liu Bei says, killing such a person is useless. Keeping him can be a point of reconciliation. It's calculated, pragmatic even, very farsighted.
So Guan Yu's success, it clearly lights a fire under Zhang Fei.
Oh, yeah. He's like, my turn. Eager to show he's not just muscle. Demands to go after Liu Bei.
Even though Liu Bei warns him, hey, don't underestimate this guy. He's a provincial governor, important figure back at Hulao Pass.
But Zhang Fei insists. Meanwhile, Liu Bei hears Wang Zong's been captured and just digs in. Fortifies his camp, refuses to fight, ignores all Zhang Fei's insults.
Smart move, defensively. Creates a stalemate. But Zhang Fei, he doesn't do stalemates.
No, he comes up with this incredibly elaborate plan. This is where we see the other Zhang Fei, not just the impulsive brawler.
Right. It really shows his hidden depths. How does this whole deception thing work?
It's brilliant, really. He pretends to be blind and drunk in his tent during the day.
Yeah.
Picks a fight with some poor soldier.
Beats him badly.
Severely. Ties him up. Declares, loud enough for people to overhear, presumably, that he's going to use this soldier for a flag sacrifice that night. This brutal ritual killing.
Rim. But that's not the real plan.
Not at all. Secretly, he tells his guys, let him go. Make sure he escapes.
And the soldier, beaten and terrified, does exactly what Zhang Fei expects.
Runs straight to Liu Dai's camp, spills the whole story. Zhang Fei's drunk, he beat me, he's planning a night raid.
And Liu Dai buys it.
Hook, line, and sinker. He thinks, I'll set a trap. Prepares an empty camp as bait, hides his own troops outside waiting for Zhang Fei.
But Zhang Fei is way ahead of him.
Miles ahead. He splits his forces. 3 groups. A small team, maybe 30 guys, hits the center. Their job, start fires, cause chaos.
Okay.
Then 2 flanking forces swing around to encircle Liu Dai's camp from behind. The fire is their signal to attack.
Zhang Fei himself
Leads the elite troops straight to Liu Dai's escape route, cuts it off completely, a perfect pincer. The hunter becomes the hunted.
So the trap springs, but it's Liu Dai's trap that fails. His ambushers rush into the burning camp.
And suddenly, Zhang Fei's flanking forces hit them from the sides. Total chaos. Liu Dai's men have no idea how many attackers there are. They panic.
And Liu Dai?
Tries to make a run for it with what's left of his troops, runs smack into Zhang Fei.
He gets captured how fast?
Just one exchange, the text says. It was over almost instantly.
Wow. So when Liu Bei hears about this...
He's relieved, obviously, but also really proud. He says, my Yi-Dai, Zhang Fei style name. He's always been rough, but now he uses strategy. I have no worries.
And then he teases him a bit.
Yeah. He says something like, if I hadn't provoked you a little, would you have even bothered with a cunning scheme?
And Zhang Fei just laughs.
Yeah.
It kind of sums up their relationship, doesn't it? Liu Bei's quiet guidance, Zhang Fei's loud execution.
Perfectly.
So now Liu Bei has both generals. And he does something pretty remarkable.
He goes out personally to meet Zhang Fei, unties Liu Dai himself, apologizes for Zhang Fei being rough.
Treats them both with honor, brings them into the city. What's the play here? It's more than just being nice.
Oh, it's definitely strategic. He lays out his case, explains why he had to deal with Zhu, the previous governor's self-defense, basically.
Professes loyalty to Cao Cao.
Right. Says he's grateful for past kindness, no intention of rebelling, and then asks Liu Dai and Wang Zong point blank, speak up for me when you get back to Cao Cao. He's turning captured enemies into potential advocates.
And they promise. They're so grateful for not being killed, they offer their families as guarantees.
Yeah, they totally buy into Liu Bei's sincerity, or at least the performance of it. Liu Bei sends them off with their troops. Seems like it's over.
But it's not. There's this brilliant final twist, a kind of psychological double tap.
Exactly. They haven't gone far, maybe 3 miles, 10 lay, and suddenly who appears?
Zhang Fei, yelling his head off.
My brother's too soft, letting enemy generals go. Crazy! It's pure theater, a coordinated double bluff.
The goal isn't to kill them now.
No, it's to absolutely terrify them. Scare them so badly they won't dare double-cross Liu Bei, and they'll deliver that message to Cao Cao with real, genuine fear behind it.
Liu Dai and Wang Zong must be thinking we're dead.
Absolutely terrified. And then, right on cue, Guan Yu rides up, plays the good cop.
Hey, brother, big brother, let them go. You can't disobey orders.
And Zhang Fei keeps up the act. Let them go now, they'll just come back.
Guan Yu's calm reply, we can kill them then. It just reinforces the idea that Liu Bei spared them. But these guys, Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, are barely holding back.
Making Liu Bei look even more merciful by comparison.
Lu Dai and Wang Zong are just begging at this point. We swear, even if Cao Cao kills our whole families, we will never come back.
And Zheng Fei gets the last word. This chilling taunt.
Even if Cao Cao himself came, he wouldn't get back with a single piece of armor. And then he says he notes down 2 heads, like, I'll remember you too.
Oof. They flee like rats holding their heads, the text says. Utter terror and confusion. They genuinely believe they just escaped death by a hair's breadth.
So after that performance, Guan Yu and Zheng Fei head back to Liu Bei. And they all know.
Cao Cao is definitely coming again. This isn't over.
So Sun Qin, the advisor, steps in with some practical strategy.
Yeah, he points out Zuzu itself is pretty vulnerable, suggests splitting the forces, hold Xiao Pei and pitching too, create a defensive pincer formation around Zuzu.
Makes sense. Strengthen the perimeter.
Right. Key satellite towns, critical defensive adjustment.
Liu Bei agrees. So Guan Yu goes to defend Jiapi. That's also where Liu Bei's wives, Ladies Gan and Mi, are staying.
Important stronghold. Then Sun Qian, Jianyang, Mi Su, Mi Feng. The core advisors, they hold Zuzu City itself.
And Liu Bei and Zhang Fei take Xiaopei, spreading the risk, reinforcing key points.
Meanwhile, back in Cao Cao's camp, Lu Dai and Wang Zong arrive.
After that terrifying journey.
And they dutifully report exactly what Liu Bei told them to say. He's not rebelling, he's loyal.
Just like they promised. Terrified not to. But Cao Cao's reaction? It's brutal.
Furious. Absolutely furious. Calls them disgracers of the nation. Doesn't even hesitate. Orders the guards. Drag them out and execute them.
Wow. Just like that. And the passage ends with that really stark, poetic couplet.
How can pigs and dogs fight with tigers? Fish and shrimp vainly contend with dragons. It just sums up that power dynamic, doesn't it?